What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and we are here today with the review for Ready to Love. This is Season 5, Episode 7, and the episode is titled The X-Files, you guys. So, before we go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel, and you guys are not subscribed to my channel, then I'm going to need you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date, having me pay for it at the end of it. Now, you guys can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and sharing the video. And you guys, with that out the way, without further ado, let us discuss Ready to Love, shall we? And the episode was titled The X-Files. I don't know if I said that. All right, you guys. So this episode, we picked up where the last one left off 2 weeks ago. Now, you guys remember the episode actually ended with us in the ladies' lounge with Tommy, and you remember Dakia was telling us that she no longer wanted to, date Eric, right? So she elaborated for us in her interview with the producers, right? And she said that, she and Eric were out with some of the other guys, right? And that they took a picture, right? And, Eric had came up behind her. He had his arms around her waist, and she's like, oh, we look like one of them old school prom pictures, right? And I can picture what they looked like in my head when she said old school prom picture. The woman in front and the man behind her, right? So then she said, he said something, and then he got very physical with her, and she didn't like that. Now, see, neither one of them elaborated on what she meant. She didn't elaborate on physical, and neither did he, right? So I was kind of wondering. I'm like, so did he? And I think I pieced together what probably happened. And if this is what happened, Eric, you are dead ass fucking wrong for what you did. If what I'm thinking is correct, he got handsy. I'm thinking he got a little handsy with her, right? Now I don't know where he got handsy at, but I'm feeling like he got a little. He probably grabbed her inappropriately somewhere. Maybe her breast, maybe her butt, or something like that. I'm getting the vibe that he grabbed her inappropriately. And if he did that, if that's what it is, I'm not saying, I need to stop saying if he did that. Because I think that's what it is. I'm just not positive. But if that's what it is, fucked up, right? You don't touch people without their consent. But I think that's what it is. I just don't know. I didn't tweet. I didn't watch it live last night, and I didn't tweet, so I don't know if anybody said what it was. But that's the vibe that I got, that he got a little too handsy with her. He got a little too handsy. And I could be wrong, but I think that's what happened, right? So Tommy says to her, well, he's going to talk to him, right? So this week, Tommy says to the ladies, all right, ladies, it's the same thing every season, right? So this week, I want you ladies to introduce your next to your ex. I always question that. Why are we introducing someone to our ex, right? Ex. Ex. Meaning, I ain't with you. Why do... Now, you know what? I guess I could say... Because there are some exes that I do have some exes that we're still cool, right? Because the relationship didn't end in a ball of fire, right? So I guess I could say I do have some exes that I could go to and say, hey, I want you to meet this person and give me your honest opinion. But I'm going to be real with you. I would never do that because I don't really want your opinion. I don't want your opinion on someone that I'm interested in, right? I don't want your opinion. I don't want your opinion. Because if I wanted your opinion, you and I would probably still be together, right? Y'all follow my logic with that, with the exes, right? If I wanted your opinion about someone that I'm interested in, and you see traits in them that I like, you see some traits in them, then I would be like, why the hell if you see the traits in this person that's made them such a good fit for me, why couldn't you do that? Right? Right? Just let me know if y'all catch what I'm throwing out there, right? I get it, but I don't get it at the same time. So we see Joy, right? So Joy is going to be introducing her ex Sean to Laverne and Clifton. And I was thoroughly surprised when she said Laverne. I was like, Laverne? You had a connection with Laverne? When? I never saw that one coming. I didn't know she had a connection with Laverne. Did you guys remember that she? I don't remember her ever having a connection with Laverne, but hey, at some point I guess she had a connection with Laverne. I just did not know that. I did not know that. So she's talking about the fact that with Clifton, Clifton doesn't want to meet the ex, right? Clifton has different reasons for not wanting to meet the ex, right? And we'll discuss that in a little bit. So Laverne shows up, and Laverne he's not taking this. I mean, would I necessarily take it seriously if I'm meeting someone that I'm dating their ex? Probably not, right? I wouldn't. So I wouldn't do things the way that Laverne is doing it, right? Because I mean, I joke, right? But I wouldn't be joking like Laverne is, right? Because Laverne is just, he's not. I don't think he's taking anything seriously, right? But and then you got Clifton, who's coming off like he's a little bit jealous, right? I wouldn't have I wouldn't have either one of their reactions, right? I go sit down with the person. I'm like, "Hi, how are you doing? My name is, JB. Nice to meet you, right?" And then we can have a conversation, like, so, and I don't know what questions I definitely wouldn't ask, "Why did you guys end?" Because that ain't got nothing to do with me. You guys are over, so it is what it is. I would ask, I guess like questions like, hmm, I don't even know what questions I would ask the ex because again, you're the ex, and you obviously are an ex for a reason, right? Because like I said a few minutes ago, if you know so much about this person and you know the good qualities as well as the bad qualities, what happened between you guys that you guys didn't work out? Was there infidelity? Did you guys grow apart? Like those would no. Well, I guess that would be my big thing. I'm like, why am I meeting this ex when the things didn't work out with you? So you really can't tell me much. You can tell me the good things about the person and you can tell me some of their bad traits, right? But you can't tell me that much because you two didn't make it work for some odd reason. Either it's this person or it's you, right? So that would be going through my head the entire time. It would literally be going through my head the entire time, right? So when Clifton got there, he was a little awkward, right? And he asked him the question about their communication, and I was actually with Sean, right? Because that comes off like it's a little bit of jealousy. So you're asking them what their communication is. Now we all know not all exes end, like I said, in a ball of fire. Some exes just end just because career paths. They career paths. They move. They just grow apart, and they just realize that either they're just better as friends, right? So not all exes end tumultuously, right? They could just end amicably, right? And so there could still be good. They could still have communication with each other. They can still be cool with each other's families, right? So it's not always a bad thing. But with Clifton's whole thing is you're ex for a reason, right? And if you still talk to that ex and you give them a inch, they could feel like they could probably move back in. And that's when I started thinking with Clifton. I'm like, the way Clifton is talking, and I was like, has Clifton been that ex before where he slipped back in? Is that the reason why his two marriages have both failed? Because he did cheat on his wives. I know he said he cheated on one. I think he cheated on both of them, right? So is that what happened? You were still in communication with an ex or someone, and you got caught up. It honestly, it felt like a little bit of projection. For me, it felt like he was projecting, right? So once the date is over with, right? Sean tells Joy against his better judgment, he would actually pick Clifton because Laverne is very superficial, whereas Clifton has a lot of substance, right? And I noticed that a lot of these men are saying, "Oh, you know, my marriage ended because of this, and now I'm in therapy." Is that now the go-to? Is that now the go-to, you guys? I mean, I'm all here for black men and black people in general going to therapy, right? But I think some of these, some, not all, I think some of these fuck niggas are just using it as I think they're using it, right? I think they're using it. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys. So after that, we see Eric. So Eric sat down with Tommy, right? So he says he don't feel good. He doesn't feel good, right? He says he found out that he hurt Dakia's feelings, and it wasn't his intention, right? And then this is where I said, did he grope her? Like, because the way he was talking, it's just the way that they're talking. And it's kind of like what happened with Phil and Shiloh last season, right? Phil and Shiloh talked in circles, and you could never really figure out what really happened with the date with Phil and Shiloh. And just like with Dakia and Eric, I can't decipher what happened. So I'm going off of, the context clues and just based off of what they're saying. And from what I'm gathering, it does feel like he probably groped her, right? And like I said, if that is the case, shame on him, right? What, you're a 40-something-year-old man and you don't know boundaries? Like, come on now. Come on. So he tells Tommy that at this point, he's not ready to love and he's going to be taking himself out of the process. Deuces to you. Deuces. So then we move over to Carmen. So Carmen has her ex, right? So she now has to switch up her game plan because I think her main connection was Eric, right? And Clifton, right? Which is interesting, right? She went on a date with her ex Marcus, who actually, when you looked at him, I was like, wait a minute, is her ex Rick Fox? Because he kind of looked like Rick Fox just a little bit, right? So she's having her ex Marcus meet with Paul and Donovan. I was like, Paul and Donovan? Girl, what? Now, see, I have a question when it comes to Miss Carmen, right? So Carmen, she had a necklace on it. He complimented her necklace, right? Then you see her rubbing her chest like, you like it. He's like, yeah, they're nice. And then I was looking at her dress. I'm like, her outfit. She always, everything she wears, she always has her cleavage out, right? And there's nothing wrong with having your cleavage out, right? But I'm like, damn. If you go to church, do you go to church with your cleavage out? Do you go to the grocery store with your cleavage out, right? Like, you always have, if y'all don't notice, Carmen always has her cleavage out. Again, there's nothing wrong with having your cleavage out, but I mean, she always has it out, right? And so they, honestly, I want to listen to this date, right? I don't care what, I mean, Paul is not interesting to me. I don't know why we still have Paul around. And then also Donovan. You know who Donovan kind of looks like he kind of looks like to me? He kind of looks like Genuine, just a little bit, right? Just a little bit. He kind of looks like Genuine. But, Marcus tells them that, with her lifestyle, she has, celebrity, some, celebrity, good looking celebrity men and women around her. I'm like, wait a minute. When he said women, I was like, are you saying that she goes both ways? Because they wouldn't be worried about her being around some attractive women. So I was like, I was just curious when he said women and men. I was like, huh? I was like, so she swings both ways? And I was posed a question, right, to myself with the way she, and again, like I said, there's nothing wrong with the way she dresses. I don't have an issue with how she dresses, right? I just noticed that every time we see her, her cleavage is out. So I'm like, when she's around her clients, does she dress that way? Like, does she dress that way around her clients? I just wondered that question, right? Again, once I will state it one more time, because I don't want nobody to be like, oh, you're shaming her. I'm not shaming her. I just think it's just very interesting that she always has her boobs out, right? She just always has her boobs out. And I don't have an issue with her having her boobs out. What I do have an issue with, her eyeshadow. That is what I have a huge issue with, is her eyeshadow. Oh God, that eyeshadow, especially that eyeshadow that she wore, that red eyeshadow that she wore at the ladies' lounge. Because when she blinked, I was like, ugh, that eyeshadow, it's too much, ma'am. It is too much, and it is too red. That is something I definitely have an issue with. Her eyeshadow, and her hair. Her hair looks a little synthetic to me. Just saying. It looks a little synthetic. All right, guys. So next up, the next date is Ace. So she is having Laverne and Tori meet with her ex Devon. I was like, okay, Devon. I was looking at that tattoo on his neck. I was like, oh, nigga, I know that hurt because the one on my neck hurt, and mine ain't nowhere near my Adam's apple. I was like, that tattoo had to hurt like a motherfucker, right? So Laverne is cocky, and I don't like Laverne. I never really saw it for Laverne before, but this episode solidified that I just really don't like Laverne. So her ex asked him, like, something about like his jealous trait or something like that. I was like, I don't have nothing to be jealous about, right? Now I'm gonna say this. And then I'm gonna come back with something else, right? I like confidence in a person, right? I like confidence. So if you say, if you ask a person, what are your jealous traits? You'd be like, oh, child, I don't have no jealous traits. What do I have? I'm so confident in myself that I don't have to be jealous of anyone else, right? But the way Laverne said it, it came off as arrogant and cocky. It didn't come off as, I'm confident and I'm secure in myself, right? Because if you, and a person who's confident and secure in themselves can say, well, I don't tend to get jealous, right? Because I'm comfortable with who I am as a person. I know who I am. I'm very confident in the things that I can do and that I can provide for people, right? And that speaks for itself. Not just saying, oh, I ain't got no reason to be jealous of nobody. You can put me in a room, excuse me, y'all. You can put me in a room with Barack Obama and God, and I still would, even though I don't forget what he said, but he said Barack Obama and God. I didn't like that. You can be confident in yourself, but the cockiness, it's a turnoff. It is a huge turnoff. Did they ask Tori any questions? Because I'm sorry. In this episode, Tori kind of played wallpaper. It's just like he was just there. He was just there. Because he went on another date and he was just there in the date, right? So I know at one point, Devon asked Laverne about kids, right? He has 2 girls, right? I don't know how we went from 2 girls to them being naked, to him taking his ginseng, to him having a hard on and having a look at his pants. I was like, how do we go from kids to you 2 being naked, you taking ginseng, and you having a hard dick? Where in the hell did that shit come in at? I was confused about that. And then I realized it. It goes back to what who's Joy's ex said. He's superficial. It ain't even the fact that he's superficial. He has no substance. Well, superficial and same difference, right? He has no substance whatsoever. He is shallow as a kiddie pool, right? This man ain't got nothing to talk about. That is why we have been seeing for episode after episode, the ladies have to approach him because he can't approach the women because he ain't got shit to talk about. The man has nothing. It's like he ain't got nothing up here in his thinker to spew out, right? I think a lot of them are the same way, right? Because a lot of them spew out sex. But you guys, I think I'm gonna pause here and we're gonna move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we see Sabrina. So she is with her ex. They're on 2 dates, right? With one is a solo date, which I thought, wow, Funky Dineva got a solo date, and then Tori and Donovan had a double. Well, I guess you could say it's a double date, right? Because it's her and her ex, and it's Tori and Donovan, right? And this is another scene where Tori basically played wallpaper. But I think with Tori, the whole issue with Tori is Tori still ain't got over the fact of that Truth or Dare where she kissed Funky Dineva. I still don't think he's gotten over that. That's what Tori's issue is, right? And Tori was just sitting there all nonchalant and shit. I'm like, dude, that's not a good look. But hey, Donovan, he showed up, right? Um, you know, Now, one thing I can say I did respect from Tori when her ex asked her, like, if this were the final day, would he choose her? He said he doesn't know, right? And I respected that. And Donovan said he would, right? So her ex said, of all the three men that he met up with, right, he feels that Donovan is the best choice. I'm like, I would agree. If I had to say who I think would be the best choices for Sabrina, it's between Donovan and Tori. If Tori would come out of this whole nonchalant ass attitude he has, it would be Donovan and Tori because Dineva, he's playing a fucking game. You can't play me, you can't make me believe any otherwise, right? So Christina, we see her on a date with her ex, DJ. She has Paul and she has Dineva meet him. I'm like, what the fuck do y'all see in him? I'm still confused as to what y'all see in Demetrius. I just don't get what these women see in him. He's not. Okay. Well, I'm confident. I'm confident in who I am, so I can say he's not an attractive guy. He's not. He's not. He's not an ugly man, but he's not that attractive. He's really not. He is not. I will repeat that one more time. He is not an attractive man. He is just not. And I look at him every week. I'm like, what do y'all see in this man? It's got to be that beard and that bald ass head. Because I'm like, other than that, he gives nothing. He gives absolutely nothing. He is as boring as paint drying. Like the man gives absolutely nothing. And I'm confused why these women chase after him, right? And Christina says she's warming up to him after they had a text exchange with each other, right? Christina, you're a beautiful woman, right? Your makeup, because I finally looked at it this week, because I tweeted about it. I tweeted about it in the last episode, and there were a lot of people who responded to me, right, about what it is. Because I was like, I can't tell what the issue is, if it's her wig or if it's her makeup, but something makes Christina look a lot older than what she is, right? And I found, Avita, I know you were one of them that told me, and it was another young lady that just saw my tweet, right? And we all kind of came to the conclusion that the issue with Christina is it's not even the wig. The wig is not that bad, especially that wig in her interview. Her interview wig is so pretty, and then I look at it. Christina's makeup is very harsh. It's strong makeup. And that makeup is what ages her a little bit, right? I think if Christina goes a little bit lighter with her makeup, that may make, because she doesn't look like she's 31 at all, 30 or 31. Christina looks older than that, right? And like I said, it's the makeup. I want Christina to just go a little bit lighter, not too much lighter, right? Stick with your skin tone, right? But switch something up with your makeup, because your makeup, it's aging you a lot. And you're a beautiful woman, but I think your makeup is just really aging you. I think it's aging you, right? Because you look like, oh God, I hate to say this, but you look like one of my teachers. You actually look like one of my teachers from when I was in middle school, because that's the same makeup she used to wear, right? And she was in her 60s. Just saying. Christina. Still beautiful. I just want you to change that damn makeup. Change the makeup. Change it. Change that makeup, please. So we found out Christina got a little bit of anger issues, right? She threw her ex's phone, but I know with women, a woman don't do shit without a reason. And she had a reason. That nigga was probably cheating on her, right? We also find out that she holds grudges, right? And she won't speak to you until she's ready to speak to you. So then we move over to this date with Dakia and Clifton, right? He's meeting her ex. And this is the point where I finally said it to myself. Clifton must have been that ex that slips and slides back with another ex. That was when I put two and two together. I'm like, that's why Clifton probably feels so the way he feels about this, right? And I was like, when did we ever know he was married twice? But hey, it is what it is, right? And that's it, right? So now we're going to pause here and we're going to wrap up the episode. All right, you guys. So the ladies, they met up with Tommy. They told Tommy about their dates and who their exes told them they think would be a good choice for them. But ultimately, the decision is going to come down to the women, right? So then, they start telling Tommy who they're not feeling, right? So I'm going to go down the line. Sabrina says she's not feeling Laverne. Dakia says she has a negative energy from Laverne. I'm like, girl, I think we all got a negative energy from Laverne, right? Then Carmen says she is not connecting with Tori and Laverne. Thank God everybody's saying Laverne. Child, it's so interesting, right? Because at the beginning of this season, I would have wanted by now for Paul to have gone home, right? And it's switched because I've been wanting Laverne gone for weeks, right? So then Tina, she says Tori and Laverne, right? So then Joyce says she's not connecting with Dineva and Tori, right? And then she says, Tori's demeanor changed after the whole Truth or Dare. And Sabrina even says it, right? She says, yeah, and I agree. He's upset because I kissed someone, but come to find out, he kissed someone. And they were like, ooh, let's take a drink to that. So we all know she's talking about him kissing Precious, right? But him kissing Precious was a way to get back at you, which I still don't understand how they got back at her, but okay. So then we move over to the eliminate, you guys. And Laverne is going on an eliminate with Dakia. Nope. Laverne is with Sabrina. Dakia is with Tori. These were polar opposites, right? Tori came in and he said that him and Dakia, they text, right? So she then told him that, she and the ladies had a conversation, and Tori was very receptive to the conversation with her. Laverne, on the other end, Laverne came into that date with Sabrina on 10, right? She tried to give him a hug. He's like, nah, we gonna dap it up. Now he was saying that, he heard that Sabrina, Tina, and I believe he said Joy, right? They had a plan to, get him eliminated, right? To cut his connection with Ace. Nigga, ain't nobody trying to cut your connection with Ace. I don't even think you really had a connection with Ace, if we're being honest, right? But he came in there really rude, right? He was really rude. And the way he was talking to Sabrina, I didn't appreciate that. I was like, you fucked up for the way you talking to her, right? And I didn't blame her for cussing him out, right? Because I would have cussed him out too, right? You came in here you didn't greet me with a hug. You're accusing me of things. She said I said that I didn't have a connection with you because there's nothing romantic there. There's nothing there. And I like I said, I was here for her cussing him out. Kudos to you for cussing him out. And the producers asked him, do he feel like he owes her an apology? He says, nah, she's the one that cussed me out. Her cussing you out was a reaction to the way that you came into that restaurant. You came into that restaurant with a negative disposition, right? You came in there, nah, we finna dap it up. Because he said, your friend told me that you were going to send me home. He's talking about Precious, right? But my thing is, you know what the process is. You know the process. Child, I ain't got time for it. I'm done. I'm tired of talking about him. That's it, you guys. Let me know what you thought about the episode, and we will discuss it in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, turn on your notifications, share the video, and until the next time, you guys, stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, wash your hands, you guys. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. I'll see you guys later on for Love and Marriage Huntsville. We're back tonight, baby. Love and Marriage Huntsville is back tonight. And there's a show that's coming on after Love and Marriage Huntsville that I am really kind of interested in seeing, where these women are proposing to these men. If the episode gives me anything, you guys will get a review of that one. But I'll see you guys later. And I'll see you guys for Power tomorrow as well, and Candy in the Game. Bye.